Hello, guys. We are back to talk about The 100. So let's get to it. Let's bring out our group here, starting out with executive producer, creator Jason Rothenberg. She plays Clark Griffin, Eliza Taylor. He plays Bellamy Blake. Please welcome Bob Morley. She plays Octavia Blake. Please welcome Marie Avgeropoulos. Raven Reyes is alive. Please welcome Lindsay Morgan. Please welcome the man who plays Murphy, Richard Harmon. He plays Monty. Please welcome Chris Larkin. And then we've got another executive producer, a frequent director on this series. Please welcome Dean White. So let's start out, Jason, with that time jump. I mean, shows do time jumps sometimes, but 6 years is a big one. Why did you decide, let's do this now? I mean, we've talked before about the show actually was a pretty condensed time period for the characters. So now you're leaping forward. What did it feel like? Okay, let's do this now.
Well, we talked a lot last season about how the world would not be survivable for 5 years. Mm-hmm. And so, because I know these guys hated wearing hazmat suits, I figured let's jump ahead so they could come out without hazmat suits.
Thank you for
Actually,
that.
the truth.
Yes, thank you so much.
That was horrible.
And what can you say about that prisoner ship? Because that's a whole new element to add to the series at this point.
Well, without spoiling too much, the prison ship, they're from Earth. I think I've heard some speculation that maybe they weren't. And they're from our time, so they're from before the first apocalypse, which is a spoiler, but okay. And that means probably cryo. They were in hypersleep for 100 years. I think that was planted in certain episodes last year that they had that capability. Mm-hmm. So they've come back to this planet that they don't recognize, that it has been destroyed, and all that's left twice, and all that's left is this Garden of Eden that Clark's been living in with her daughter, and it will not be big enough for everybody.
So, Eliza, let's talk about Maddie, who's not her biological daughter.
No, let's make that clear.
Yeah. But can you talk about, what did you think about the time jump when you heard they were doing it, and about this new character that's going to be so crucial to Clark?
Well, I've been playing an 18-year-old for 4 years, since I was 23. So it's kind of nice to be playing someone a little close to my age, because I don't know how much longer we were going to get away with that. And yeah, it's just, I think it's exciting to see, it will be to see us, like, me as like a, 24-year-old woman who has gone through so much, and she's taking on this maternal role, looking after this little tiny nightblood.
Bob, when Clark thought she might not make it, which turned out to be the truth, she kind of was passing on leadership to him, to Bellamy. He had gone through a lot up prior to that. Did he think this was a challenge he has risen to in those 6 years?
I'd like to think that he has. I think he has taken on the advice of the head and the heart. I mean, from what I've been told, I don't know that much either, so I guess from what Jason has told me, if he can be trusted, Bellamy has grown up a little bit, I think. But yeah, the 6-year time jump's kind of crazy because it's only 6 months for us, but we've got to figure out what they've done for the last 6 years and find those characters again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a reset sort of for all you guys. And, Marie with Octavia, I mean, she was put in charge of a lot of people. And we saw in the finale the insecurities she had about that. And she was a character who was so much sort of on the fringe and literally had to hide for most of her life. What do you think it's been like for her to now be in the spotlight in this way after all the sort of, I'm the one not looking?
I think Octavia doesn't have a clue what she's doing, but she doesn't want to, set off the chaos with the 1,200 people in the bunker, because it was her idea to have one crew and have this mixed bag of clans. And of course, they're not wanting to let go of previous animosities that they have towards one another. So just similar to the way she was trapped under the floor in the Ark, the same thing is kind of going in the bunker where, you can't just run around and break the laws and cause riots. And in season 5, you'll see, in fact, what Octavia's plan is to keep the peace and how she reprimands others in her own special way for stepping out of line.
Ooh, special way.
Special Octavia way.
It won't be a peaceful way, possibly. Lindsay, I feel like every season I say Raven's been through a lot, but she has been. But now, we saw in that finale, how essential she was just saving them, getting off the planet. Do you think that in this situation they've been in all these years that she sort of thrived? I would feel it's a small group up there, but she would be a very key member of that group.
Duh, Eric. Raven is so special because she is so smart, and she, is a key ingredient, I feel, in the 100 mix and for their survival. But I think also, though Raven's so smart, her heart weighs on her a lot. The only reason why everyone is in space is because of Raven. Raven's like, I'm gonna kill myself. No, not like that. She was just more like, can someone come pick me up because I want to go to the bunker? And her friends are like, yeah, of course, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And oops, we're stuck now. What do we do? So I think Raven feels a lot of responsibility for everyone's well-being to be saved. And that's why, her taking them to space in the finale was so important for her. And now in space, it's a lot for her to make sure that everyone's survivable and that we can hopefully get back down to the Earth once it's habitable again.
Mm-hmm. And Richard, you kind of like Octavia, Murphy was an outsider character for a long time. That started to change a lot last season. He was sort of making amends with Raven, right in the, yeah, come on. And then we saw him and Monty sort of try to work some stuff out. Do you think that...
Is this why you sat me beside them? Is that what this is? Okay. This is really convenient.
I feel like that's a character that will especially be fascinating to see after those 6 years, because now he was with these people. Do you think that he might be really changed from all this?
100%. I think all of us have to change up there. Like you said, the 6-year jump is a great challenge, but it's also really freeing in a lot of ways, and kind of taking the shackles off of you of all the decisions you've made with the character over 6 years. A lot of therapy can happen in that time. So you can leave behind a lot of what we've been doing, or keep some of it if you want. But obviously he's going to change because he's so good in kind of like the pressure cooker situations and thriving with his life on the line every day. And now in space, it's more so just living day to day and just making it to the time they can go back home. That's very different for him. So I'm curious to see if now that he has nothing to kind of like fight against, can he really just be part of a happy family? And I'm curious to see how that goes.
Is he bored?
He's a little bored.
A little troublemaker.
Yeah, he's gonna find a way to have some fun.
Chris, it is funny when you think about the timeline of the show, because it was just a few months for the characters. So it's like thinking that was a tough few months for Monty. Found out his dad died, had to shoot his possessed mom, his best friend died in his arms.
Yeah. What's your question?
Does it suck to be Monty? No, my question is actually about Harper and Monty, and just the fact that, would that make that connection even stronger given sort of all the loss that he's gone through?
I think that Harper is Monty's main lifeline at the current moment, and has been for 6 years. I think, given the loss of Jasper, if he'd lost Harper as well, I'm not sure he would have made it out of Arcadia. So I think that he owes her his life, and she chose him, and I don't know what the result of the last 6 years has been. I hope they're still together, but even if they're not, I hope they at least gave it everything they had, because I think they deserve that. Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe Monty and Murphy are together now. It's been 6 years.
We can pray.
A lot can change in 6 years. Dean, this is such an ambitious show. You look at the finale and how much it had going on. Is it just a continuing fun but also crazy challenging thing to work on this series and to see how much they throw at you and how much they're doing within 44 minutes a week?
You guys haven't met him before, but this man is very responsible, as well as Jason, for the kick-ass show that is The 100.
Yeah.
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 Well,
You guys all love, yeah? Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, Dean. Carry on.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, absolutely. You know, for the budget that we have and the amount of time we have to shoot this show, we do some pretty incredible things. The scope of the show, and my nickname for Jason is Scopes, because that's what he does. He gives us this stuff. We look at it and go, there's no way we can do it. And then we always pull it off somehow. And I think that makes us better storytellers, because we've got to figure out ways to, you know, solve budget problems, solve time problems, come at it from a real storyteller's point of view.
You know, one episode that really stands out to me this past season, in the entire series actually, is Die All, Die Merrily, which is the Octavia and the Conclave episode. In typical 100 fashion, it was also pretty merciless. We lost a lot of notable characters. Jason, at what point developing season 4 did you know that you wanted to do that story, that episode?
Pretty early on, that was kind of, you know, every season we have these tentpole moments that we're aiming for. That was the big one of the big ones last year. It was written by Aaron and Wade, Ginsberg and McIntyre, great writers. My number 2's on the writing staff. And Dean directed the hell out of it. It's really just, it's as good as we've got, you know? I mean, I think it was, everything came together. Marie was awesome. She really worked her ass off to get, probably more screen time than she's ever had. And, you know, when I look at that, I feel like we've done this now for 5 years. The team in Vancouver is amazing. Everybody's sort of, all the actors are dialed in. It's really fun to be working on a show now where we know what we're doing, we know, you know, what we can do, we know how far we can push, and I don't try to push too hard, Dean, but ultimately, it's my job to try to challenge everybody so, you know, we can have this sort of epic television show. So.
That episode was also sort of a key one for Echo, who I don't think anyone could have guessed where her path was going to go.
Yeah.
You talk about, you know, what you decided to do with her there and how things sort of changed for her there.
I think instead of me answering that, why don't we bring out a special guest, Tasia?
Tasia Tellis plays Echo, new series regular on the 100. Hello there, Tasia.
Hello there.
So yeah, let's. I was saying, I don't know if you heard it because you guys were cheering. You know, Tasia is now a series regular on the show this season. Echo, the girl in the cage in season 2. A lot has changed of what we think of her, what we know about her. What's it been like for you to kind of track her this entire way and see where she's gone?
Hello. It's been amazing. Every time we got a script, I was always nervous to explore more into Echo and give life to that character, because she was always a character that I felt really strongly about. She was sassy, she was cool. I loved it when she spat in Bellamy's face when they first met.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
And we had to practice that one a few times.
What did Echo eat for breakfast?
That was years ago. I don't remember.
That's a meet cute.
You got one too. Octavia got one too this year.
I got the biggest loogie ever in the face from you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who will spit in Bellamy's
welcome.
face in season 5?
Stay tuned.
Who hasn't?
But wait, you guys, we have part 2 of the 100 panel. Click that box over on the left. And then to see part 3, click that box over on the right.